morning, everybody. Welcome to the roast. I am, of course, Sugar Chris. And with me is my guest, Jason Franks.
Good morning, Sugar Chris and everyone.
And I learned here before we started the show that Jason is Australian. And what is with this recent spring of all these Australians showing up in comics?
I don't know, man. We've got a bit of additional reach now thanks to Kickstarter. A bit easier for us to get our comics out in front of other people.
We just had an Australian gentleman on just not that long ago, and of course I know a few other Australians doing these creator books, so it seems interesting.
There's a good number of us now.
All these Australians roaming around.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a number of years, but this is my first Kickstarter, so it's like
really?
whole different ballgame, whole different world now.
Oh, what was you doing before your Kickstarter?
I had my first graphic novel come out in 2010. Through Slave Labor Graphics, an American publisher, and I've been doing stuff a bit before that and since then. I also write prose fiction as well. I write science fiction, fantasy, horror. So I've got 4 novels that I've produced, as well as a bunch of graphic novels and various anthologies and short stories that I've done. So I'm not new at this game, but I'm new to Kickstarter, and that has been a really interesting experience so far.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a veteran at this point.
I am. I'm not a young gentleman in the writing game, but you always got to learn how to do something new, and seems like Kickstarter is a place to be at the moment for independent comics. So here I am.
We got the chat host, Mr. Soul Ion, popped in. He says, "Welcome to the weekend roast, where the horror continues, but this time in space. Who will be eaten? Who will survive? And what is Fitzel? Let's find out." And good morning, Chris, Jason, and chat. Good morning,
Soul Ion.
And he also said, "It's not Monday. Someone changed the video." I know, Soul. I changed it on YouTube. It wouldn't let me change it on Facebook, though. Then I accidentally changed it to Sunday when I realized, wait, no, this is Saturday. What am I doing?
It's Sunday for me.
I'm a mess.
It's confusing. Time is confusing.
I've not been sleeping great. But we got Shadowhawk popping in. Hello, sir. And we got Kate in Orlando. Good morning. Morning, Kate.
Hey.
And Soul's already throwing the link to Gourmand Go. Thank you, Soul.
That's the
right.
one.
Let's see. Yes, bring that up while I'm at it. While we're talking here, I'll go ahead and bring up the campaign. Boop. Still says, "Love the professionalism as usual." I know. I'm on the ball. I'm on it. Don't you worry, Soul. That's why all these guests. I always get the guests coming. They come here for the professionalism. That's what it is. Like, wow, he's so good at this.
Well, he must be in my time zone. It's pretty early.
But we got 3 days to go here on Gourmand Go.
We sure do. We're fully funded and heading for our first stretch goal.
Oh, that's awesome. And what is this all about?
So Gourmand Go is I'm calling it a cannibal space opera. It's a graphic novel which is about the starship Gourmand Go, which travels the galaxy seeking new life to eat it. So it's kind of cannibal Star Trek. There are seven episodes in the book by 7 different artists, all of us Australian, and each one is a different adventure for the crew of the starship, encountering weird aliens, space battles, personnel issues, reality TV, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. There's even a Christmas episode, having funny and disgusting adventures in space, eating things that they should not.
I mean, really, isn't that all of man's goals? To go places and eat new things?
Yeah, that's what I figured, right? There's that old It's that old Golden Age science fiction story called The Served Man, which you've maybe heard of, or if you haven't heard of it, you've probably seen like the Simpsons Halloween special, or the Twilight Zone episode, which is about aliens come to Earth saying that they want to serve man, and it turns out that they want to serve man like on the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I thought, what if that was us? What if that was us? What if we were those aliens traveling the galaxy, just looking for other aliens to eat? And yeah, that I guess led to the book.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun concept. You don't see that too often, like a kind of jokey thing involving cannibals.
Yeah, it lets me like do a really kind of brutal satire on a bunch of stuff as well, and parody some quite beloved properties. Anything that's set in a spaceship, on the bridge of a spaceship, any of those kind of TV shows. I love them, but also that kind of all the same. And I'm like, what if we put a slightly different spin on it?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I never got that super into the Star Trek myself. Could never get into it that much. I don't know why.
I loved it when I was a little kid, and then I turned 10, and I was like, okay, I've seen Star Trek. What's next? So,
moved on.
Yeah, I kind of moved on, but it just seemed like a really fertile ground for parody, and just opens up some worlds. Like to use that as a sort of frame, opens up some really interesting ways of having a look at different kinds of things that we experience in our culture today, even without the spaceships.
Yeah. What was under there? So let's answer Soul's question there in the intro. What is Fitzel?
Fitzel is a robot dog, but he's a biovore, so he's powered by shall we say meat.
Excellent.
His fuel source is meat, so he is a cannibal robot dog, just like the rest.
Well, I mean, you don't want him to feel left out with the rest of the crew here. He needs to get his little table scraps as well.
That's right. He he needs to fit in with the corporate culture of the starship, and he sure does. But boy, isn't he cute!
Cute little cannibal.
Yeah.
How many pages was this one?
So there are 58 story pages in the book.
Okay.
7 different artists. So you can see like the main art that we've used on here. This is Harry Purnell, who's my co-creator and who drew the first chapter, and the cover. And then I also have Gavin the Thompson, Laura Renfrew, Matt Kime, Ali Faye, Ben Michael Byrne, Christian Brew. So a team of 7 artists.
Okay.
And 7 episodes. And I'm kind of hoping that it feels like some sort of a demented Star Trek knockoff TV show that was cancelled like in the middle of the first season. That's kind of the feel that I'm going for. It kind of looks like what you expect, but before you get very deep in it, you go, I think it's not right here.
All right, yeah, I'm going to play the trailer here.
All right, you're about to hear a lot of what I just said again.
Oh, okay.
It should be good. Wouldn't Star Trek be so much cooler if all of the officers were cannibals? I'm Jason Franks, author of books like Bloody Waters and Fairy Apocalypse. I'm the writer of the 6 Myth graphic novels, comics like Left Hand Path and The Phantom. Today, I'm kickstarting a graphic novella called Guilmon Go, created by me and artist Harry Purnell. It's about the adventures of the starship Guilmon Go, a tramp freighter that roams the galaxy, looking for aliens to eat. Is it a gruesome parody of a beloved genre? Is it a brutal satire of consumer culture and global media? I don't know. I can tell you, though, that it has space battles, weird aliens, a cute robot dog, reality TV, and There's even a Christmas episode. This book contains 7 episodes by 7 different artists, all based here in Australia. I'm incredibly proud of the work that they've done here. There's my co-creator Harry Purnell, Gavin Thompson, Laura Renfrew, Matt Kime, Christian Rowe, Ali Faye, and Ben Michael Byrne. And all of the stories are lavishly coloured by Graham Jackson. It's funny, it's horrifying, and I'm sure you'll agree that it looks magnificent when you see what the art team has done. Goemon Go is complete now, coloured, laid out for print, so there is very little risk on you for backing. The funds I'm raising here will be used to cover the print run and shipping, as well as fees to Kickstarter and my campaign manager. We have digital and print rewards, as well as some cool stuff like original art from the book. There's also writing workshops with yours truly, and sketch commissions of the crew member of your choice eating your face. I don't know anybody who wouldn't want one of those. Please have a browse of the Kickstarter page and order up a generous helping. I'd love to have your friends for dinner too, so don't forget to tell them about us. There's plenty of room on the table. At the table. Plenty of room at the table. Thank you. Frank's out.
Yeah, just a little slip of the tongue there, you know.
Oh yeah. What do they call it? Slip of the tongue.
Let's see. We got Hen. Hey Hen. How you doing?
Hey.
See you down there. And then Soul says Robo Doggo con carne.
That's right.
He says that alien gumbo looks nightmarish. Come on, you wouldn't want to taste that?
Oh, Ben Michael Byrne there, rendering that to perfection. It's been cooking for hours.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
He's got like a roast going, you know. You just come on. It might look terrible, but it probably tastes pretty good.
Well, you'll have to read the book to find out. But that's definitely one of the feasts that gets served up.
Let me scroll down here real quick. So there's our cast of crew here.
Yeah, that's right. We have Captain Carnes. He's the captain of the vessel and the kind of mastermind. So he's kind of a clever guy at his best when he's improvising. Kitty Kruwicki, she's the nice one. She's the communications officer. She's also a meat eater though. There's Doc, who is the science officer and also the surgeon. There's the bosun Gravlux, who's in charge of law enforcement on board the ship and also any military action that the ship might take outside of the vessel. We have Chef, who obviously is a very important character in a ship where their mission is to eat stuff. He's kind of a force of nature on his own. Chief Engineer Schwartz, he makes sure all the systems are running pretty good, doesn't say too much, and enjoys a drink. And then, of course, we have Fitzel, who I think we have already discussed, the cute robot dog, also carnivorous.
And we got what Soul's saying there. He says, Sugar, having a crew member eat your head sounds like a perk for you, also for showing to your mom. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we have 3 different artists doing the degustation commissions, the head eating commissions, and all of them decided to do my head as the sample. So I've been chewed up 3 times at this point.
It's only about $13 to get you a physical copy. That's pretty affordable. That face, his eyes going in different directions.
Yeah, that's Benny Byrne. Has the closing chapter on the book, and he just pushed that out as far as it would possibly go. It's pretty amazing. I thought I'd get something pretty wacky from Ben, but yeah, even I did not expect that level of crazy that Ben brought. It was amazing.
The security woman's veins are showing on her neck.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Yeah, we got the different tiers there. Now, what's this McBlack series?
So McBlack, that's kind of my first comic series. It's I guess you'd say it's a kind of gonzo um, science fiction noir sort of a book, and it's about so McBlack is he's the guy with the skull. He used to be a detective, but he's kind of given that up because he found that he prefers murder and arson and sabotage, and somebody persuades him to take on a case. So the femme fatale comes to his office and says, "Oh, look, I need you to find my husband." Persuades him to take on the case, but because he's kind of not inclined to do that sort of work anymore, things maybe don't go the way that you're expecting from a detective noir kind of book. So that's full of monster trucks and undead creatures, maybe some cannibals in that as well. As the first book, and then there's a couple of one-shots that follow that. So in the first one-shot, McBlack is hired to negotiate what are kind of like they're like video game levels.
Mm-hmm.
So the story has them go through like different video game type scenarios. So one of them is like a first-person shooter. One of them is a platform game. There's a sandbox game, that kind of stuff. So he has to like work his way through these different sort of video game encounters to solve the issue there. And then the next one, in the second one shot, he's hired to a child asks him to take care of the monster that's giving him nightmares. So then there's like 3 different dream levels that he has to negotiate through that as well. And again, usually the outcome of the McBlack stories is you kind of get what you asked for, but it's not in the way that you want it. So yeah, a lot of gunfire and action.
So saying Jason, Chris is infamous for being drawn in and killed in several comics. Yes.
Yes, my kind of man.
I used to get drawn in a lot in books.
Yeah, it could happen again. I take great pleasure in murdering my friends in
my
most of my books. Yeah, not in real life, but one that you see at the bottom right there, Assassin's Eye. It's a novel I wrote about an assassin who travels to places that don't exist to kill people, and almost every one of his victims is somebody I know from independent comics.
And we also have the option to get the 6 Smiths.
Right, so that is my graphic novel series. It was originally published by Slave Lab Graphics, and then when I did the second volume, we were reprinted by Caliber Comics in the States, and it's a kind of a religious satire about a family of Satanists that have fallen prey to the global financial crisis. So if you kind of think of maybe The Simpsons or South Park, but they're devil worshippers, you're kind of in the ballpark.
Okay. Let's see. We got then we scroll down. The whole banquet. That's all the novels themselves. You were saying there.
Right. Those are my four novels. So Bloody Waters. It's an occult rock and roll novel about a female guitar virtuoso who makes a deal with the devil to break the glass ceiling in the music industry. Shadowmancy, which is a horror novel set in a magic school. So I know you're thinking about the property that shall not be named when I say magic school, but maybe better to put those ideas aside. I think it's quite different. If you've seen the movie We Need to Speak About Kevin, it's probably closer to that. Fairy Apocalypse, which is a bunch of people travel to Fairyland and cause havoc, and Fairyland causes some havoc back. And the results of that are apocalyptic, I guess you'd say. And then, yeah, as I mentioned before, X-Dimensional Assassin's Eye, Unfolded Earth, which is about an assassin who's kind of in it for the travel opportunities, and he gets a new gig where he gets sent to places that don't exist to kill people. So we go to like a secret space station, undersea kingdoms, a dirigible city, so a city that's made of like zeppelins that travels through the stratosphere, a whole bunch of places like that. And he goes over there, he takes photos, he tries the local food, he murders someone, and then he goes home.
Nice vacation.
Yeah, he has a little.
Enjoy himself, see new sights, kill new people.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't eat them. I was beginning to see a disturbing trend, Jason, in your work.
Yes, there's no cannibalism in that one. I wouldn't go so far as to say that he's a good guy, but I guess the other thing I tried to do there was I try to avoid all the assassin tropes that you see in those assassin stories where they're like the guy's like a ninja, or there's going to be the scene where he's got the sniper rifle and he's trying to shoot someone through a window or whatever. So I try to avoid any of that. He's just kind of a guy who's really resourceful and has really good timing, but in most circumstances doesn't use any weapons, and it kind of looks like an accident. So yeah, just like a kind of clever and devious sort of a guy.
Let's see. Soul says it's cool to have a theme for what the different perks are called. Making it types of meals also fits the story of the book nicely.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. That was the reason that this was my first Kickstarter. Was I was like, oh, I could give all the reward tiers names like food or like restaurant dining meals. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there we go. For the people who want everything, the smorgasbord. That's a fitting title.
I should just mention that these prices that you see in the story page, those are Australian dollars. So if we're in the US, it will be less. But also, a lot of these rewards are not going to be available in the States as well because shipping is just insane.
The dollary dues.
I had somebody in the States ask me for the smorgasbord, and their shipping is worth more than the reward is. So, unfortunately, a lot of the physical rewards, we're getting a whole lot of books. It's just really difficult to make that affordable.
I've seen some of the fulfillment, like people who do fulfillment, like are paid to do it by creators. They're able to get shipping down to a decent price, but I don't know how they do it because it seems everybody seems to really be struggling with that shipping.
You can't print it. I can't print it in Australia and ship it for a reasonable price. So if it's a book that I don't have the rights to print and distribute myself, then I can't make it a reward. So for Gurmag Go, I have all the rights to that, and I've set up shipping. Like I'm going to do a local print run here in Australia. Most of the backers have been local, but I can also set it up print on demand, so I can send it anywhere in the world, like with reasonable shipping. Like it'll print in the States for American customers, it'll print in the UK or Europe for those customers. And like shipping's pretty reasonable if I do it that way. But for something like Smorgasbord, where there's 4 novels and 3 graphic novels and a bunch of single issues, it's going to be like it's a pretty big box.
Yeah,
and
I have all that weight.
I can't print them overseas because publishers have the rights to print them, especially in the North American territory. So,
okay.
Yeah, so. Unfortunately, those ones are not available. But if you do want them, hit me up and we'll see what we can work out. But often it's cheaper to just buy the books on Amazon or something rather than to get them in the package, just in terms of the shipping.
Well, I mean, we do have a lot of international folks, so us Americans, us Yanks or whatnot, we're left out. But for once. But you international guys get the advantage on us.
Yeah, look, usually we're the ones who get left out, right?
Yeah.
I look at a lot of Kickstarters, and I'd love to get the physical books, but to ship them to Australia, if it's a $20 book and it's going to be $40 for shipping, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm just going to go with the digital reward. So I've kind of done my best to cater for people overseas as best I can. But
Yeah, I've heard a lot about like Soul and Marinus there in the chat. They talk about like customs and how much it costs them just to get the book, let alone the shit. Yeah, they got to pay shipping. Then you got to pay these customs, and that costs a nice chunk of money too, and a tax and all this. I'm like, good gosh.
Yeah, not only that, but it's become really expensive in the last few years. Like it was expensive before, but now it's I used to sell books on Amazon, like the first Black book, kind of before the KDP stuff was around. I used to sell that on Amazon and ship them consignments, and I could just about break even doing that in the past, but not anymore. Not by a long way.
Degustation. There we go. Oh, there it is. You getting eaten.
That's me.
Look at that.
That's me. It's two of our different artists who are doing that reward.
There it is. Now, how is it? Let's see. Okay, so you do get to pick the crew member that gets the nom nom nom, yeah.
Yeah, and you can choose which of the three artists as well. So there's Yuriko Sekine, which is that one, and then Harry Purnell, co-creator, and then I don't have a sample for Ali Faye up as well, but Ali Faye is doing them as well. So
Okay.
you can choose that reward. You can choose the artist, and you can pick a crew member, which you can see that cast of characters a bit higher up on the page.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I like that. That's a nice tier there.
I did enjoy getting my face eaten, I have to admit.
You're one of the only people who can say that. And of course, you get also your physical copies and whatnot there of Gourmand.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, come on, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that tier?
Yeah, so I guess that's available also as a virtual reward as an add-on if you're overseas. So again, you don't want to pay the shipping for the bit of artwork, which might get expensive just due to the difficulty of shipping something fragile. But we can do that. We can do that virtual as well, or we can figure out a way to ship it.
Okay. And then we've got a knife skills workshop.
Yeah, so that is you get firstly a copy of the book, of course, and then you get some script coaching from me. So I will help you edit a short story or a script. So you get a red line draft of it, plus an hour session with me to talk it through online, and or if you live nearby, we can do it over coffee or beer, and I teach comics writing a couple of times a year for Comics Mastermind. I've done manuscript assessments and stuff. I used to edit a horror anthology, so I kind of know my way around this stuff, and I thought it'd be a good one to offer people. So
yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. Like it could be pretty useful, like for folks, somebody like me who would like to get into it, but like obviously there's a big difference between just writing a book or something like that and writing something for a comic. I feel like that would be two different scenarios there.
Yeah, I remember when I was first trying to write comics, I was already a published prose writer, and I just remember like that first script, it was an 8-page short story, and just there's a really different storytelling skill that you have to master for writing comic script. If you've done screenplay or if you've written for the stage or if you've written prose, those are all good skills to have, and the creative writing basics around plot and character and dialogue and whatever are kind of the same. But when you're writing comics, there's a whole kind of extra dimension where you've got to be able to break the story down into pages and panels, and everything has to work between the panels and within the panels and across the spreads and across the whole book. And there's that is an entire writing skill in itself. And I remember how difficult it was to learn it. And I figure a little bit of guidance can maybe help other people get over that initial hurdle.
Let's see.
That
I
first
was a
script that
little
I did.
worried here. I was like, what is it? Knife Skills Workshop? What's he going to teach us here? Here's how you sharpen your knife.
Yeah, so I don't normally have knives on my computer when I'm editing, as in the photograph, but I don't know, maybe it'll help something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm a little concerned, Jason. A little concerned here. All this cannibal talk, all these cannibals. You keep knives just laying around by your computer menacingly.
Sometimes you got to cut stuff.
you gotta just cut the fat, trim the fat.
True, that's right.
Oh, we got Tree Goblin. Hey, Tree Goblin. Says, oi, oi.
Oi, now I a tree goblin. I can turn the accent up if you like.
Let's see. Soul says, I've once ordered the Blu-ray for the Metalocalypse Doomstar Requiem musical in Australia via eBay before the whole customs thing, but since the movie is so good, I'd still do it again.
I have done the same thing, and that is an amazing movie, one of my favorites.
Let's see. We got putting the link again. Thank you, Soul. We got Mr. Beacon. Hello, sir. He says, I go to this stream and get informed of new mod options. Who volunteers as first victim? What are you doing, Beacon? Don't you cause chaos in my chat. I already have enough of that. Oh, my lordy. But we've got, of course, the original art options. Always good to see those.
So I have original art for sale, which is from Matt Kimes' chapter, which is the Christmas special episode. Matt Kime is artist best known for his work on the Phantom, which is, I guess, the original spandex superhero. I've written for the Phantom as well. My first Phantom story just came out.
Oh, wow.
This month, which has been pretty cool. So we have Matt Kimes' artwork available, and we also did have the cover artwork available as well, but that one has already been sold.
Now that the Phantom movie, did you like it back in the day?
I don't want to say anything bad about the Phantom, but that was not a good
movie. Don't put me on the hot spot here. I just wrote for him. I can't say anything.
Yeah, it was not a great movie.
Gosh, I remember watching it, but I was really young, I think, when I seen it. I think. So I don't my judgment of it may be skewed.
Let's just say the costume
probably thought it was good.
The costume just didn't look good.
Yeah, I feel like if I go watch it now, I'd probably just be like, "Ooh, oh no."
No. Look, I'll probably due to rewatch it, but yeah, they had a good cast on it. But yeah, I think just the maybe the technology wasn't up to it. It's pretty simple though, right? It's a guy in a purple spandex on a horse with some guns.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes not on the horse. Sometimes without the guns. But
now,
yeah.
Is he public domain?
No, he's not. He is owned by a King Features syndicate. So any Phantom story that gets published needs to be approved by the syndicate as well as the local publisher.
Oh, okay.
Phantom is most popular these days in like Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, and Australia. So it's an American property, but most popular outside of America these days.
That's pretty neat. Yeah. And you got to write for him. That's pretty swanky then. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
I did. There's the local publisher Frew, who is the longest running one of the longest running comics publishers in the world. I met the editor at a convention here in Australia. It was the one time it was good to be in Australia and be able to actually meet an editor. I pitched him some stories, and I'm not going to tell you how long it took to get them approved, but it was numerous years. And yeah, so my first one just came out. It's called The Pinstripe Wizards, and it's set in the 1970s because I thought I've never really seen a Phantom that's set in the 70s.
Mhm.
And it's about the Phantom stopping a terrorist attack at a rock and roll concert.
Oh wow, neat. Now I need to know this, Mr. Jason. Are there any cannibals in that story?
There are no cannibals in that story. Um,
Good,
but
good.
you'll notice that the rock band perhaps bears a resemblance to that little old band from Texas.
Mm.
who,
I thought you were going to say they had like a shirt on that said "Eat the Rich" or something.
no.
Let's see. Nothing bad planned promise. Better not be, Beacon. You better watch your ass. Oh, we got Mrs. Good Stuff. Good morning. Good morning. We're just
Good
here
morning,
talking
Mrs.
with
Gustav.
Mr. Jason Franks about Gourmand Go, a kind of almost parody on things like Star Trek, where they go out, find aliens, and they take a little sample, just a little snack, a little appetizer of them.
Well, sometimes a bit more than that.
Yeah, they're living the dream, right? The human dream to go out and explore the world, explore the universe, and eat new foods.
That's right. Try new stuff.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, caught up in the thing. And excuse me. What's your future plans after this campaign?
So I have a comic book called Frankenstein Monsters, one which will be out, I think, in 2025 from a new publisher called IPI Comics. So that is it's a sort of science fiction horror book about it's kind of the concept is, what if Victor Frankenstein was still alive and he's a secret tech billionaire that nobody knows about. So I figured that, with the advances that he makes in Mary Shelley's original book, by now Victor would be way out ahead of everyone when it comes to things like artificial intelligence, robotics, genetics, and all of that stuff. And so yeah, it's about some journalists who kind of stumble across some of Victor's secrets, and I wanted to make it really contemporary. I like that you see a lot of Frankenstein stuff, and a lot of it feels like fan fiction to me. But I want to do something that's really contemporary and quite different. So like, there's no like the monster. Victor's been around for a couple of hundred years. There's a lot of monsters that he's made. Yeah, just to really look at stuff like surveillance capitalism and all of that sort of stuff, the organ trade. So yeah, just like really contemporary problems. So that's coming out. It's a 4-issue miniseries. The art is Tam Nation, who is from New Zealand, but he lives here in Australia. He is like a film visualization guy by day. So that's pretty cool. That's coming out pretty soon. I'll have another Kickstarter probably next year, which is a book about the Yakuza, Japanese mafia. So that one, all the art's done. It's been colored and it needs to be lettered. And then probably that'll be a Kickstarter next year. Also, I have a sequel to Bloody Waters, which is my rock and roll novel, which I'm just cleaning up. I have a middle grade fiction book, like a science fantasy book, that I'm working on as a collaboration with another writer here in Melbourne. So it's quite a lot of stuff. I don't sleep much.
It seems like you do have like a variety of like genres and stories and ideas that you put out.
Yeah, I try to do something a bit different every time. I guess except for the obvious sequel that I have coming out. But yeah, I don't want to repeat myself. And I just kind of love every genre. So, I want to go and play with the toys in the different areas. To me, though, it always kind of comes back to horror. Like, even if it looks like a space opera or a port fantasy or something like that, in my heart of hearts, it's a horror story to begin with. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I've kind of learned about myself over the last few years. And, obviously with Guillemot Go, it's funny and it's traveling in space, but there are eating people and eating aliens, and there's definitely a horror backbone to the story.
Yeah, my co-host Sim, he's also a creator. He did a book called Blood Hunt, and he's done some other stuff. He's working on, but he always finds a way. He always puts Alf as an Easter egg, like hidden away in his comic somewhere.
Elf, the alien who eats cats.
Yeah, and now I just think with you, it's like, I wonder if he's got like a little cannibal hidden away in every book somewhere. In the background of your rock and roll book, there's just some guy over there eating on a leg or something like.
Look, this is my main cannibal book. Probably the other thing I do a lot of is devil worship, is Satanists, but there's none of those in this book, and there's not cannibals in every book either. So I like to rotate the favorite tropes around.
That face.
Yeah, that's Ben Byrne again. This was like, this is a ridiculous idea, and I'm just gonna really push the art as far as I can go. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
He is not happy about something. So you've already got it done? I see there.
Yeah, book's all done. Stretch goal is to get some pin-ups, some new pin-up art in the book. So obviously that's not done yet. If we meet that stretch goal, I'll commission those. Then we'll get Harry and Dean Rankin, who's an artist who's famous for working on the Simpsons comics in particular. Rick and Morty and a bunch of other stuff. I Hate Fairyland. So those two guys are going to do some pin-ups for me, which if we hit that stretch goal, which we're about to, I'll commission those, but that shouldn't delay the book by more than a few weeks. But otherwise, it's all done. It's ready to go. It's set up for print, and I could start turning them out tomorrow probably if I needed to, if the printers were available.
I remember reading, I think the first, volume or graphic novel of the I Hate Fairyland. I quite enjoyed that. I liked that one. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it's one of those books I kind of I feel a kinship to it. I have my own Fairyland book, and just the sort of satirical take on it. Mm-hmm. Where you get a character who's just not what that, doesn't do what you're expecting from the protagonist of a book like that, in charge of it. I really enjoy that. And yeah, I think Dean's had a lot of fun working on that as well.
Oh, great! The drunk's getting into his emotional part of his drinking.
Yeah, that's right. He's it's Christmas. It's the Christmas episode that we're looking at here, and the engineer's had a bit much to drink, and he's having a bit of a moment. And he comes up with his problem is he doesn't have money to pay for gifts for the rest of the crew, and he comes up with a quite unconventional solution.
Well, are we going to have a Christmas miracle?
I wouldn't say it's a miracle, but let's say it's the wonders of science, perhaps. Yeah, but yeah, he figures out something. He figures out a way to make it right with the crew.
Some more sample pages here. We're trying out some new food.
Yes.
Someone. Who's this gentleman here?
That is a sous chef, one of the chef's assistants, and in this page that we're seeing here, this artwork is by the magnificent Christian Roux. Fitzroy has caused some havoc in the kitchen, in the galley of the spaceship.
Oh, that dang dog.
Yeah, and then they find out like what's triggered him.
So does the sous chef get to partake in any of the cannibalistic endeavors? Does he get to
No,
see any of the food?
It's just the officers.
Wow.
It's just the officers.
The officers get all the good stuff.
Officers get all the good stuff. That character, like those two panels, that's his only appearance. So wouldn't get too hung up on him. But yeah, mostly it's like Star Trek, right? You know, it's a starship that's crewed by, you know, hundreds of people, but you mostly just see the officers doing their thing.
He gets turned into the next meal off panel, I guess.
It does happen. It does happen. They like to eat fancy, but you know, when the chips are down, they don't mind eating more human cuisine.
Yeah, you know, desperate times and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so the book is done. That's pretty good. That's always good for folks. You know, that quick turnover and whatnot.
Yeah, look, you know, we've all been burned by books that didn't get done, or you know, weren't finished or were never delivered. I've been involved in some of those campaigns as a co-creator, like peripherally, like in an anthology or whatever, that just was never delivered, and it's disappointing. And I don't want to be that guy, so I'm not ever going to bring something to Kickstarter that, you know, isn't pretty much ready to go.
Yeah. All you lucky international folks potentially getting that smorgasbord over there.
Well, when we say international, I mean it's Australia and New Zealand. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, there's just too much to ship in, unfortunately. But you know, other backers, international backers, so everyone else can still get a physical copy of the book. It's just the all the stuff that I have to hand ship from my backlist. Yeah, that's just way too expensive to put it in the post.
Okay.
I could make it available, but no one will take it when you see the shipping.
No. So there's nothing wrong with me saying, folks, mob over it. Gosh dang it. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I hope so. I've had this book. I've been sitting on it through the COVID pandemic, trying to work up the nerve, I guess, to put it on Kickstarter, and it's gone pretty well. You know, we funded in about a week, and heading for that first stretch goal. So I'm pretty proud of how we've done, and looking at what's going to be the next project already, the next thing that goes up on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I have not seen anything from Sim. What is he doing? Gosh dang Sim. Let's see. Sugar, the head sketch seems fairly priced at the size. You should think about getting nibbled on. Well, I was gandering at it. You know, Purnell, that was the name there.
Harry Purnell, yeah.
It seems like good work.
He's the co-creator. So he did that first chapter and also the cover. Yeah, he'd be keen to. He's keen to do some of these. And yeah, I think maybe that reward tier is marked as only shipping within Australia, but there's an add-on you can do. Wait.
Those dang Australians getting all the good stuff again.
I need to check that. I need to check that out. Where is it?
I like his little Easter eggs there with the alien head and the predator head and whatnot.
Yeah. Harry goes all out. He's been an amazing creator to work with, and full credit to him. When I started working on this, it was just going to be like the one story,
Hmm.
and as I was doing it, I was like, I could do some more of this. And then when I saw Harry's artwork, I was like, I need to write some more of this book. These are really fun, and there's a lot. It's just a lot that you can do with the idea. I figured.
I don't even know if I could get it. So because Jason's over there in Australia, and for some reason, like I think it's because of international. I can't back my bank won't let me back things outside the U.S. I have a hell of a time. Like I just seen when I was getting ready to start, I popped up here and I was like, oh, where was a problem processing your pledge to God Sumner? You have 6 days to fix your payment method. It's like, oh, freaking bank won't let me buy it because I didn't think about it because God Sumner's international. He's over there in like Greece, I guess. I think. So it's like, well, shit.
I've heard a lot of people telling me that they can't get their credit card to work. Some of them local as well with Kickstarter. Um, Unfortunately, there's kind of nothing I can do about it. Like it's all their back end.
Yeah, it's my bank. I've had to deal with this a million times. I have to call them, and I have to get them to let it do it, and then I got to fight with them for a while about it to let them let it happen. Then I got to like somehow re-pledge or do something like that. It's a whole pain in the butt because it's international. If it's in the States, I have no problems. But if it's like international, they're like, no, 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 you're not doing that.
Yeah, look, I lived in Florida for a while back
Mhm.
in the early 2000s, and I remember definitely having issues using my credit card for anything overseas. So you have my sympathy, and I know what it's like, and I know how difficult it is to deal with the banks.
We got Soul saying the open skull reminds him of the dinner scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That is the best scene in Temple of Doom. The monkey brains.
Let's see. Sugar, also you've been taking too many loans for rifle auctions this month already. What? No, no, no. I have not. Come on, Soul. I was looking at auctions that there's no. I don't think there is any. I think there's maybe one gun auction nearby this month, and there wasn't nothing that really interested me. So don't worry, don't worry. We don't have to worry about that right now. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. There
Are
was.
you are you a
What?
hunter?
My whole family is. I don't really that much really, but my whole other family is. Like my uncles and all that stuff. They all hunt. I mostly just collect guns and various things that that military history and things like
Right.
that.
There is a hunting chapter of Gurmag Go,
Hmm.
in which the new first lieutenant, uh, sets up a hunting expedition to a planet which turns out to be a gas giant. So things don't go so well in that story. Um, yeah, that's
Now,
Gavin Thompson's chapter.
is there going to be any like because Star Trek had what was it the red shirts?
The red shirts, yeah.
Or is there going to be like the equivalent of that in this comic?
There's only a couple of characters that you meet who are not on board the starship who are not officers. No, I'd say that not really analogous to the red shirts, but uh, maybe one of them beats a horrible fate.
Let's see here.
So it's hard to talk about it without spoiling
Yeah, you don't
too many of the plots. But
I gotcha. So to Sugar, if there wasn't anything, you wouldn't get so defensive. I am not defensive, so what are you talking about? Says, I'm watching you. Someone who even trades weapons with his plumber has a serious addiction and shouldn't be trusted. Oh, come on. He's a Civil War reenactor. I made a simple trade with him. I let him have my Civil War gun because he gave me a good deal on my plumbing work, and in return, he gave me those just 3 or 4 black powder guns.
plumbing is expensive.
Let's see. What else was I gonna say here? So we got, how many days was it? 3 days. So you're down to the last 3, folks. If you want to get this,
Yeah,
usually those last days are those big. Was when you get like the big sales.
I hope so. Yeah, we're finishing up on Wednesday my time, about midday on Wednesday, which will be, I guess probably late Tuesday night in the US.
Let's see. Put the link. Thank you, Soul. Sugar, it sounds even more insane when you explain it in detail. There's nothing insane about it. That is a normal thing. It just sounds insane to you because you're there in Germany. Let's see. You don't even probably get to own guns. Let's see.
Yeah, look, there's definitely a lot more firearms in the United States than there are in most other countries. So it's a thing you need to get used to when you visit. For those of us who are from foreign parts.
Plumber with military benefits. Oh, there's Pale Rider. He says, "What's a normal thing?" Never mind, Pale Rider. Don't you start. We got Mo. Hey, Mo. How are you? Everybody's starting to pop in there. Beacon says, "Paying bills in guns is what people with too many guns do."
It's hard to argue with that logic.
I don't have too many, Beacon. You can never have too many guns. Gosh dang it. At least I put them all away. I only have the one sitting back there now.
She's got it set up by the window there.
Yeah, well, you never know. Gotta keep it safe.
That's right.
Let's see. Good to see everybody. Yep. You too, Mo. Sugar is going to cause gunflation. Gunflation. Come on. I do need to get me a cannon. One of these days, I'm going to get me a cannon.
Would you keep it inside or outside if you had a cannon?
Well, inside.
Inside.
Yeah.
So like one of the little ones.
Well, it might be. I'm not sure. Depends on what I can get. Probably end up being a smaller one. You know, that way if they come through the door, I can just blast them back out. Boom. That would be so much fun. It'd be so much fun to have a cannon. But then again, now that I live in town, I probably couldn't shoot it. No, I couldn't shoot it.
No, I'd imagine.
I'd have to go back out. I'd have to go back out in the backwoods again. I used to live out in the boonies.
Where do you live now?
I live in town, like my little Kaiser town here. So it's a small town. Here in
What state are you?
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Wild and wonderful. But let's see, what's everybody saying here? I'll have to agree with Chris on this one. You can never have too many guns. That's right. For once, Pale Rider actually agrees with me on something. And he ain't spreading any lies. Good job, Pale Rider. Proud of you. Sugar, I love that you think you could prepare and load the cannon before someone entering your house knocks you on the head. Yes, I can. I fully believe in my capabilities. Well, it'll take them time to break through my locked door, And by that time, I've already shoved a bunch of forks and spoons in it, silverware, forks and knives, and start packing it down. Maybe I already have it preloaded. What do you think of that, Soul? Just for the occasion.
Just got to keep it dry.
Yeah. Keep the powder dry, and you're all good. Let's see. Mo says, I have never seen Pale Rider tell a lie or even exaggerate. Well, yeah, because you're not seeing him. He's not there with you. Pale Rider does nothing but tell lies. Para says, my friend found a full-size cannon at a landfill. It's set up in front of his restaurant, Mariner's Inn restaurant in Hammond, Louisiana. Oh, that is awesome. Lucky him. Who found a cannon in a landfill? Who finds that there? Wild.
I wonder if it keeps it loaded.
Just do it. He should
Get
keep
some,
it loaded.
No pirates will attack or something. Be useful to have a cannon, a loaded cannon at the front of your shop.
Yeah, you never know. Let's see. Beacon says, give them a face full of that tally-ho, governor. Speaking of guns and such, what does our crew of the Gourmand Go here use? Do they have like lasers or something? Like obviously our chef here, likes to use his cutlery.
Yeah, chef is big on cutlery, and the bosun in the red hat there has a pretty large arsenal. Usually the stores are set on board the ship though, so don't see them carrying too much ordnance, except for a couple of missions where they go, they hit planetfall. But there's definitely some demolitions activity, and as I mentioned, there's that hunting chapter where you see the crew like fully kitted out with like all the gear.
Okay.
So yeah, you name it, they've probably got it on board that ship.
They don't. They're focused more on preparing meals rather than doing the hunting on them.
Yeah. It is. I guess not a whole lot of fighting in the book. It's more about catching their prey unaware and figuring out how to prepare it.
Doing the old bonk.
Yeah.
Thank you, so.
So we see some of the aliens there have there's an alien space marines that we see there. They're heavily armed, as you can see.
Now, how are we going to get them from there to the dinner plate?
Well, that might involve a bit of fighting.
Yeah, we just gotta lure them into a false sense of security and then strike.
I wouldn't want to spoil anything, but that might be the plan. Might be the plan for this first episode.
I mean, once you probably get past all that, what is it called, chitin or whatever, they probably taste pretty, there probably some choice meaty bits under there.
Yeah, they're kind of giant lobsters.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if you're big on seafood, these might be the aliens for you.
I've never had lobster. Never had it.
No, neither have I.
So I guess I don't know what I'm missing.
I was once invited to a lobster party, and they knew I wouldn't eat it, so they brewed up some steaks for me, and I saw everybody like struggling with the lobsters to get the little bits of meat out of the shell. They're like, Jason, you don't know what you're missing. And I was like, I'm doing pretty good over here. You guys enjoy your lobster.
Jason was invited to a lobster party, and he showed up in a big red outfit with claws. Very embarrassing. Let's see. So it says, sugar, don't eat the bugs.
Eat the bugs. I don't know. Some people find the bugs to be quite delicious.
Yeah. don't know.
Escargot.
Let's see. I really hope this book doesn't spark a cannibal fetish in Sugar. He's mired in enough degeneracy as it is. Oh Lord, I am not a degenerate, Mo.
Are you any good in the kitchen, Sugar Chris?
No.
No.
No. I know I only have basic cooking skills.
Well, I find that cannibal restaurants are quite hard to come by. Cannibal takeout, so probably safe from getting that cannibal addiction.
Yeah. If you want cannibal cuisine, you got to make it yourself. You know.
That's right.
That's a untapped market for an entrepreneur. You know.
Well, I guess it depends what part of the world you live in.
Power says, I think Chris already owns a Fisto cannon. What? Fisto cannon? You
Do
mean
not
like
know what that
the guy
is?
from He-Man? Let's see.
Well, that takes me back.
Pale Rider says that, or no, Soul says, Pale Rider, that's some big beans on that Mariner's menu. Yep, good food at that place. Oh, he's talking about the restaurant with the cannon.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Louisiana, it's good food out there.
I was a little worried. Soul was talking about somebody's big beans. Let's see. Duck. So do all these crew members have a different preference in food outside? Well, obviously they're all cannibals, but do they like specific, I don't know, parts or different aliens?
They like whatever chef can serve up for them. Chef is the one who's particularly picky, and there's definitely some stories that are motivated by chef being unhappy with the ingredients that he's got available, or the crew's kind of down to rations and are looking for some fresh cuts to spice up the Starship dining experience. And then there is there's an episode which is chef gets on a reality cooking contest on TV.
Oh no, they're all going to know about his cannibalism.
Yeah, it goes. It's an interesting chapter where yes, chef dismantles the idea of that reality cooking show when things do not go his way.
Then we find out that plot twist: all humans are cannibals in this universe.
Oh no, the crew of the Starship are pretty special. Very special crew.
Okay, let's see. Beacon says, "Don't give the hipsters any ideas. They might bypass bugs and go straight to cannibalism." The new fad. New fad. People. That's the that'll really help fight climate change. There we go. Just go cannibal. I don't know.
So, yeah.
The link, Chris, this cannon is the second pick. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see it. Boom, there we go. So there's the cannon that was found in a landfill. Yeah, it took some wear and tear on it there. Pitted.
It's a big cannon.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. That's interesting. Wonder where it's from. If it has any historic value. I wonder if it was something that somebody forged themselves. Who knows? Interesting. I'd like to know the history of this cannon.
Wow.
Where it came from. How did it end up in the landfill? If only cannons could talk. Soul says, Beacon, have you seen the movie Snowpiercer? The working class gets served protein bars made of insects. I can see that becoming a thing at some point. Huh.
That is definitely a thing that people are working on at the moment. I've read a bunch of studies about it.
I'll pass.
Yeah, it does not sound tasty to me.
I'll stick with pork. I like pork. Let's see. We got Marinus finally popping in. Howdy, Marinus. Marinus, why are you saying howdy? You're there being all like Netherlands over there, Dutch, whatnot. You don't say howdy. Howdy's a cowboy thing. Let me see. Where am I at? Gormon Go. There we go. Gotta get through all the tabs. Yes. So we were looking, Mr. Marinus, at Gormon Go, a cannibal space opera. It's like Star Trek, but you're, instead of you go out, find new aliens to interact with, lull them into a false sense of security, act all, peace and love, and then whack, take them down, and taste of their flesh.
Cook 'em up. Some fine eating out there in the furthest reaches of the galaxy. Those who are prepared to make the trip.
Now, what's the deal with this alien here? He's cooking this other guy. Has he decided, has he talked to the crew and was like, you know what, they've got something going on here. Maybe I need to start trying this.
It's a special reward. It's a special reward for the crew. These aliens are cooking them up a feast.
Oh, they gave him a gift.
Yeah. What a tasty meal it is.
Wow. The crew's going to feel right at home with them. They're like, finally, all of us, our own people rejected us. They couldn't see the beauty of our ways, but you understand us.
Something like that.
And then they bonk all the other aliens and eat them. Sorry, but we're hungry.
Don't want to spoil it. But, yeah.
Marinus? Yep. Let's see. Oh, okay. Marinus is trying to speak hillbilly. Well, and he says, I do cultural appropriation. Well, you didn't do it very well. Do better. Be better at speaking hillbilly. Sugar, the American influence is strong in Europe. We eat burgers and drink Coca-Cola, so why not saying howdy as well? Yeah, but I don't know. Is the American influence, but is it hillbilly influence or is it just American influence? I don't know. Let's see. Sugar trying to gatekeep the Europeans. That's right. I will gatekeep you from my hillbilly ways. You got to earn it. Yep. So I saw some video once of some pod person mashing some crickets into a patty for burgers and act like it was the best thing ever. That's I'm good. I don't eat crickets. No, my niece's lizard eats crickets. I don't. Let's see. So saying the Marinus also. Oh God, I ain't saying that.
Lurking.
Huken. Sounds like Swedish Chef.
Well, he's definitely in theme for this book.
Let's see. Mo says Sugar wants all the varmints due to himself. Yeah. I have ate animals that normal folks probably haven't.
What are those animals?
Oh gosh. Well, I've had squirrel. I've had various other rodents. My great aunt has had like raccoon. She's had all kinds of stuff. I have not had roadkill. That's one I have not had. So don't worry about that.
What species of roadkill?
But I know people who have. There are some folks out there who have had roadkill. I haven't had possum or anything like that, or like skunk or nothing. What's this? Beacon. Yep, some people embrace their enslavement more than others. They have barbecue bug snacks here with a window in the packaging where you can see the bugs through. If people want to eat that, they're more than happy. They can go right ahead, but definitely for me. don't see the appeal of it myself.
I think it's just really energy efficient to farm bugs, for the amount of energy and the amount of space that you need, for the amount of nutritional value you get out of them. So on paper, it I guess seems kind of compelling. We should eat bugs. It's just when it comes to practice that maybe the idea loses some of its merit.
No. No.
Yum yum.
No, I'll pass. No, thank you. Let's see. Chris will eat street pizza animal when he rides around 66. What? Yeehaw! Chris will eat street pizza animal when he rides on Route 66. No. I haven't ate roadkill. Did you eat that woodchuck in your yard? No, I did not eat the groundhog. I didn't eat the chunker girl groundhog out there. She had babies at one point. I don't know what happened to her. I hadn't seen her in a long while. Maybe somebody else ate her. Who knows? Fun fact: chitin causes cancer in humans, says Beacon. Doesn't everything cause cancer nowadays? Seems like everything causes cancer.
Pretty much.
The chat, Jason, is very anti-bug. Apparently, right?
Really, I should open that up.
They're very against these bug consumption.
Oh, look, I'm not too keen on it myself, I have to admit.
Farrah says, I've eaten at too many street vendors in South and Central America to be certain of what and what I have not eaten.
Yikes.
I've never had duck.
Duck is good.
I've never had it.
I have eaten.
When I went to DC, I went through that little Chinatown place there, and I seen like a guy had like the ducks hanging off the hooks and stuff, and I was like, I wonder how that would taste. And I've never had it.
They're good. I had duck ramen when I was in Japan earlier this year. That was pretty tasty. I was not prepared for how tasty that was.
Jason just over here low-key flexing like, oh yeah, when I was over in Japan.
My
fancy Jason, they're traveling all over the place.
Japan's a lot closer to us than the States is.
A worldly man. I have not done much traveling in my life.
Oh yeah, I've been to Japan a bunch of times. My wife is Japanese, so we travel up there to visit my in-laws pretty often.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've only been to like maybe like the states surrounding West Virginia and stuff like that. Maybe maybe a couple others, and that's been it. I've never left the states.
Oh, you should get out if you can and try the food.
Yeah, I will.
See the world. Yeah, you're young still.
I keep telling myself once I get the house paid off, once I get that done, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna start traveling, doing stuff.
Oh, nice one.
Mariner says Japan food is the best. Went there twice. Nice.
They do have good food there.
Sugar has the first 5 volumes of Duck Ramen on his Weeb shelf. Shut up, Mo. They give me crap because I've got a built-in bookshelf on the wall, and I used it to put all my manga in. And now they give me crap because my manga's on a nice bookshelf, and my books are like in my long boxes or things like that. Oh, and they're like, oh, you just keep them just thrown away in a box, but the manga's in a fancy bookshelf.
Oh man,
no pleasing them. Paradise says, I don't like duck, too greasy for me.
Yeah, it is a bit greasy.
Yeah, that that'd be something that would probably turn me off to it if there's a lot of grease. Because then next thing you know, that'll upset my stomach, and that ain't no good.
Depends how you prepare it. In ramen, like it's all grease, right? So
I would like to go to one of them ramen shops that they have in Japan. Let's see.
yeah, they're pretty amazing.
We got Soul saying, Sugar, I'm checking my phone if I still have a pic of the bug snacks. If not, I can take a new one next week before Dunkel Zeppa. And I watched the second part of the FPS documentary I backed. Oh, neat.
Cool.
Marina says, what Japanese wife introduced me to their sister and friends, Jason?
Unfortunately, we live in Australia, so it's probably a little out of the way for you. But
yeah, sorry.
also, she doesn't have a sister. But
yeah, there you
if
go,
she
man.
did.
Yeah, Jason's like, have you backed Gourmand Go? No, well, sorry, I'm sorry, she don't have a sister. I don't know what to tell you.
Her brother's married too. So.
And it says, I have money. Calm down, man. Oh, Lord. Sorry, Marinus. No Japanese ladies for you. Here you go, Marinus. We got a link to Asian brides online for marriage. There you go, Marinus. Sarah's setting you up. There you go. You said you have money. Well, there you go. Oh, Lordy. But yeah, so this is everybody go check out Gourmand Go. It's only got 3 days left. So you're running out of time to go get her. It looks like it's going to be a fun little jaunt through space, eating new people and seeing new things.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of fun. Really, the art teams really outdone themselves. They've made me look good, and it's I think it's funny and disgusting, and I hope you guys like it.
Mm-hmm. Ernest, don't be all 10 cliches of thirsty at once. Oh, wow. Look at that. Marinus already clicked on that link real quick. Look at that. Date Ukraine girls. Boom. Marinus is right there. Calm down, Marinus. Calm down. We got Felix Haas. Hail, hail, sir. Bow, bow. And he's throwing in the link. Thank you. Thank you. But, yeah, I thought Sim would show up, but he's being lazy over there. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Gave him plenty of time and he ain't showed up. He's probably playing around with that dang 3D printer again.
So I was enjoying a Saturday morning. I've already enjoyed mine.
Can't get a hold of him there. Felix says duck grease is delicious, used on dry birds like pheasant.
They use it to make French fries.
Interesting.
They're pretty tasty as well. If you've ever tried that.
Interesting. Duck grease is delicious, used on dry birds like pheasant. Interesting. Let's see. What else do I want to show real quick here before I wrap this up? Oh, look at this cool Art Adams piece, everybody. Look at that. Look at that fancy piece. That's some good
news. That's lovely.
Yeah. He did wonderful work on that. That was a nice piece. Like all the little details and everything. He put a lot of work into that.
Adams. He always does. What a legend.
But thought I'd show that off real quick. I seen that earlier today. Mo says, Sim may not be punctual, but I wouldn't call him lazy. He's always doing something. That's true. That is true. He is always doing something. He's just not doing what I want him to do. That's a problem. Meredith says, "Is this a cover?" I don't know. I just seen it on Facebook. I don't know what it's for. I know he had a Kickstarter for a Art Adams art book not too long ago, so that might have been where it came from, because I think there was a Kickstarter. It was Art Adams. Was it like a sketchbook or just an art book, one of those type things? So that's probably where it came from.
Looks like a cover or a commission to me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would assume it maybe be some sort of cover, but I don't know because it doesn't say on the Facebook. Let me see. Can I search image? See if maybe that says something. It says Demon Queen by Art Adams. I don't know. I'll find it later, I guess. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to start to wrap this thing up, folks.
It's 4:30 in the morning where I am, so I should probably.
Oh yeah. You probably should get some rest.
Probably get a bit of rest. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I gotta let you go then.
But, yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show, and it's been great to chat with you.
Yeah, and anytime you got another campaign up and running and you want to pop on, you're welcome to.
For sure, I'll let you know when the next book is up. It'll be that Yakuza book, I think. So
it certainly seems like you always have something interesting and something different.
Yeah. I don't sleep much, although I'm feeling it at the moment. I have to admit.
What day Sugar is going to open up a gourmet bathhouse with duck grease soap? Oh, good Lord! They keep insisting I'm some sort of like connoisseur of bathhouses. I've never been to one. I don't know. I don't really know anything about them, but that's what they keep insisting.
Duck grease soap in a cannon. Don't forget a cannon.
Let's see. Felix says Whole Foods sells just the duck fat as grease for cooking. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen duck grease for sale. I have seen that at work, I think. But anyway, thanks, Jason, for joining us. I appreciate it. And thanks everybody in the chat for popping in. Soul for being our chat host. And of course, I'd thank Sim, but he abandoned me. But I will see you all later. Bye.